Carmen recently appeared on the show because her son was being accused of molesting 3 of his children. The children's mother, Jennifer, not only kept Demetrius and his mother, Carmen, away from the kids for almost 2 years, but she also believed that Carmen knew about the alleged abuse and covered it up. Watch this. Demetrius was co-parenting his 5 children with their mother, Jennifer, and he thought everything was going great. But then 2 years ago, Jennifer accused him of molesting 3 of the children. And even though authorities have closed multiple investigations against him, he has not seen his children in almost 2 years. And now Demetrius believes that Jennifer was coaching their children to say these horrible things about their father. Take a look.
My kids came home from a visit December 28th that week. And I always ask my kids, how was your weekend with your dad? What did y'all do? And they was very excited. They were saying that they went to Chuck E. Cheese, I believe it was. And in the midst of her telling me what they was doing, my daughter said, I was only touched once. So when she said that, I said, what do you mean you was only touched once? They both look at each other, both my daughters, like they wasn't supposed to tell me that. I said, what are y'all talking about? They go, Mom, Daddy and a relative of his put their fingers. My other daughter goes, mine's too. I said, are you sure? She said, yes. She goes, I was screaming, Mom. I was asking for help. And they ended up putting tape in her mouth, she said.
Over her mouth?
Yes, over her mouth to help her not scream. So I automatically text him and asked him. I automatically text the relative and asked the relative as well what was going on, what the kids were saying. Their dad replied, and he was like, oh, you're crazy. My family would never do that. My family would never do that. And I asked him, I said, well, was that specific relative at the house as well? He wouldn't answer that. The next morning, I took my kids to go to the hospital to get checked out. I had to wait for the kid to come back. The kid came back, and it was my daughter, they said it was a little irritated, but it was no signs of penetration. My kids then had to go and speak to a detective. They spoke to a detective. When they were finished doing the interview with the detective, they put me in a room by myself. They said, your kids are saying that they were touched, but they said that that was not enough detail, so they said that they would put my kids in therapy, because usually when kids go to therapy at that age, they speak more.
And then you found out that your son, you thought he was abused too, right?
Yes.
What did your son say his father did to him?
My son said that his father and the relative as well put ice.
And you believed it?
I have no choice but to believe my children.
And then when you made these allegations, was Demetrius interviewed by the police?
Not till a year later.
Yeah. But they still closed the case, right?
No, the police is not.
Not the police, but
DHS did,
DHS
yes.
closed
The police, the detective, I just spoke to her, and she said that she was waiting on the relative to come. She spoke to my kid's father already, and she was waiting for the relative to come and speak to.
But if DHS closed the case, then the police really don't have anything, right?
I guess that's how it is. But my kids is continuing to say it.
You believe that Demetrius' mother also knew about the abuse, right?
Because my children said that she knows.
How?
They said that she caught them. And
caught
that
them
she
what?
pretended to call the police.
She caught them doing what?
That she caught them hurting my children.
The mom walked in and caught Demetrius and another guy hurting the children or molesting the children?
Say.
Like what?
Yes, while he was touching on.
Walked in on her son sexually molesting the girls, and she did what?
She started yelling. They said it was a lot of yelling, my children said, between all 3 of them. It was a lot of yelling. And they said that she went like this and pretended to call the police in front of my children.
But you say she didn't do anything.
Well, the police said they never got a call from her about that at all.
So you think a mother walks in on her son molesting her grandchildren and then does nothing?
I don't know what to believe. I'm just believe.
But you believe in your kids, right?
I do believe my
children 100%. So then you believe the fact that she walked in caught the son in the middle of molesting the grandchildren and did nothing.
I believe so.
Now, they believe that you're coaching the children to say all this.
I would never do that.
Let's meet Demetrius.
You know I would never touch my kids.
The
You're
kids
a
are
liar.
saying, the kids saying you
jealous.
touched them.
You jealous.
Of what,
Why
Demetrius?
did DHS post the case out?
Jealous of what?
Why did you want to be with me?
I do not want to be with you,
I got messages to
Demetrius.
prove you're a
Demetrius,
liar.
I don't want to
Yes,
be with
you
you.
do.
The kids
You are a
saying
liar.
you
Never
touched them.
said that.
Did you molest your kids?
No.
Why do you think you're being accused?
She jealous.
Of what?
I had a new girlfriend.
So you broke up with her?
I broke up with her almost 2 years before I got with the new girl.
I put her out my house. I received
No, but I'm saying you're the one that ended this relationship.
I ended it. Why are you lying?
Why did you end it?
Because of this.
I put you
She's
out.
arguing with me all the time. If it's not this, she tried to put a sex tape out on me. She put...
It wasn't
A
no
sex
sex
tape.
tape. I don't have no problem
She made
with
a sex tape of me and her that she had and put it on Facebook.
Not on Facebook. He is lying.
Where'd you put it?
You put it on social media,
You're
so it don't
lying.
matter though.
Let me talk. He is lying, okay?
What'd
What
you
it
put on
was
social
that
media?
before this girl came in the picture, I didn't know nothing about her.
Just say yes
We
or no.
was
Did you put it or not,
co-parenting.
though?
Can you let me talk?
Just yes
We
or
was-
no. He asked you. Did you put it on social media?
I sent it to her. I sent it to her.
So you had a sex
Because
tape of the
she
two
didn't
of
believe
you.
that we were still having sex.
Okay. So you had a sex tape of you and him. He gets a new girlfriend, and you send it to her.
Yes, because
Why?
Because we were still having sex and I didn't know
No, we
about
would
her.
not.
You didn't know about her?
I didn't know about her. I would have
Why
never
were
been
you
having
still
sex,
having
with
sex
him.
with them?
You ain't
Because we
supposed
were
to know about my
co-parents and
life.
still. He said we're gonna work things out. We're gonna continue to do things.
I ain't
So
tell you
as
that.
we was going, as he was co-parenting and
Damn
picking the
lie.
kids up, he was saying
So
that
he's coming over. You can't say no to
he was
sex.
in my house for Christmas, for Thanksgiving.
So you got to have sex.
No, I'm not saying that. But,
But
it
you
just,
did.
we
That's what you
did.
saying,
We
obviously.
did. But not after the allegations. I haven't spoke to him. I haven't seen him. I don't call him. I
But
don't
these
do anything.
allegations occur after he had the girlfriend?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
She said
Let's
she
meet
housed
your
me.
mother, Carmen.
Bubby.
Go ahead.
You know.
You know.
You lying.
You know.
You know
You
you
know.
lying.
Miss Carmen,
You
know.
know you
know.
lying. Jennifer, you know you
know.
lying. You
All right.
know I would never
I
choose
would-
him over my grandkids.
But you are.
Yeah, I would choose
Because
him
these
over
are
you.
your grandchildren
I would choose
saying
him
it.
over you.
These
but
are your
and guess
grandchildren
what I
saying it.
did?
You're not listening.
I waited till
You're not
DHS.
listening. None of y'all even see
Get it out though.
You didn't slap these kids and be like, don't you dare say anything.
Anybody who knows, first of all, I never saw
Yes or no?
anything. But anybody
Yes or
who
no?
knows me knows
Yes or
I
no?
would never slap my
Yes-
grandchildren.
yes or no?
No,
Okay.
I did not.
How about the fact that your son and another family member taped up the girls' mouths?
Never happened.
And you walked in on them.
Never happened.
What about
Never happened.
Your son took ice and then raped
Steve, if
them.
this happened, why did she take him to the hospital?
She didn't take my son to the hospital.
Did you take him to the hospital?
No.
The detectives told me not to.
Okay, stop.
Bring them in straight for questioning, and that's what they did.
Okay.
They told me to bring him in straight for questioning, and I brought him in for questioning.
And so, one of the biggest key pieces of evidence in any case is physical evidence, especially in criminal sex assault
it doesn't mean
cases.
you didn't do it.
Okay, listen to me. DNA. So you're telling me a detective, and I don't know where you live, but, strange things been happening.
Philadelphia.
Okay, major city. You probably deals with this all the time. The bigger the city, the more crimes happen, right?
SVU detective.
So these kids are supposedly sexually molested, and according to you,
All she
one
did
is,
was-
and they're like, no, don't take them to the hospital. We don't want to see if these
I
kids were
asked her,
actually
and
hurt.
I asked.
So a
asked her.
detective actually said,
I said because
don't take them to the hospital. We don't want that
My
evidence.
son came to me almost 2
Okay,
weeks
that
after
sounds like
the girls came to me.
you have a daughter that's not Demetrius from previous relationship. She's a little older. Let's bring her out.
I honestly don't have nothing to say to the two of you. I have no reason to believe that my siblings will lie about this, nor do I believe that my mom would coach them just to ruin your life. Who are you? You are nobody.
Do you believe that he
Like,
molested your siblings?
Yes, I
you
believe my
believe that he
siblings.
raped
Yes,
your
yes, I
brother?
believe my siblings. They told me their self.
What did your siblings say to you exactly?
Well, the one, she told me that her daddy had tied her hands up and he made her watch inappropriate videos. And right then
Like
and there,
porn?
I believe so, yes.
So he tied her hands up
Yes.
and made her watch TV.
Yes. That's what she told me.
And did you say, why'd he do that?
I didn't want to hear her talk about it anymore, so I instantly stopped her, and I just let her know that she don't have to worry about that anymore, and she's comfortable with me, and she's safe with me.
Steve.
I don't want to keep asking her and putting them through this trauma, like, oh, well, like, did he do this?
Does it
this
make
way?
sense that somebody would tie a child's hands up and make them watch TV?
No.
Yes. Why
No.
not? A lot of things don't make sense
This is
that happen.
what they're saying.
Carmen, you came here and took a lie detector test, and we asked you, did Jennifer's children tell you that they were being sexually abused by anyone? You answered no. Did you at any time strike your grandson in the face after you were told that Demetrius had molested him? You answered no. Results of your lie detector test is that you told the truth.
I walked in on him. That's a damn lie.
Did you at any time ever intentionally touch or fondle either of your daughters on their private areas for your own sexual gratification? You answered no. Did you at any time ever intentionally touch or fondle your son on his private area for your own sexual gratification? You answered no. Did you ever witness anyone ever sexually molest any of your 3 children? You answered no. Did you at any time bound your children up with tape or any other kind of materials and have them watch inappropriate movies? You answered no. Results came back all the same, and they came back Demetrius told the truth.
Kid said this.
Don't want that.
What's your response to
I
him?
said I apologize. And
No, well, I'm clear.
I'm only trying to protect
Apology
my
is not
children.
enough.
I'm only
I
trying to
think I
protect
get
our
2 years.
children.
2 years.
You didn't try.
Because of
All right?
We asked Jennifer, are you fabricating a story that Demetrius and one of his relatives sexually molested 3 of your children? You answered no. Did you help your children make up the story that they were sexually abused by Demetrius and another relative of Demetrius at any time? You answered no. Did your 3 children come up to you on their own without any coaching, coercion, and assistance from you in leading questions to them that they were sexually molested by Demetrius and his male relative? You answered no. The results came back all the same, and it came back that you did not tell the truth.
What question did I tell the truth on?
all of them.
You don't know. Hush
All
up.
of
What
them.
question
knew
did I
it,
tell
yo.
did I
All
not
of them.
pass?
We told you before we got here. You telling the truth, you telling a lie.
I would
Before
never
we even
lie.
got here, I told you were lying. You knew you were lying.
Before your children ever spoke to DHS or police, did you ever practice with them what they were to say to the authorities about being sexually abused by their father in order to get their story straight? You answered no, and you did not tell the truth. Now,
Yeah, you did. You did. But you know what? Let me tell you something. You know what? As angry as I am, I still love you. I still pray for you every
Put your
day.
hands away from me,
I'm
all right?
saying.
Okay.
It just said.
Examinee admitted she has made up stories to make her look better in the past. Lied to get revenge on someone. Lied on someone to benefit herself. That's what you're, no. So we're lying now? I've never met you. Why would I lie on you?
There has been so much around this, and everybody in my family, even friends, and people have wanted to attack her physically. I have always maintained that is my grandchildren's mother. If she hurts, they hurt. I don't want any trauma to them. So she can't go through trauma. I know she comes from a traumatic background. I've taken every name she's called me, fat bitch, black bitch, all kinds of stuff. I still gave to her. I fought with him not to give her because I said, those kids need it. I don't care what you say. I don't care what she says. If I have it to give to my grandkids, I don't care what's going on, they get it.
I'm glad you came here, you exposed her, and you proved yourselves that, you didn't do this. But I think any reasonable person listening to the story would never believe it from the beginning. Thanks for coming on, Demetrius. Good luck to you. Even though Jennifer's lie detector test proved that she was coaching her children to say that their father was molesting them, Carmen still feared that she would never see her grandchildren again. And now she's joining us virtually to let us know what happened after the show.
Well, after the show, we didn't believe that we really would still see the kids because she might have been embarrassed, but she did keep her promise and allow us to see the kids. My son Demetrius went up there on Monday, and he and Jennifer took the kids to the park, and they were able to call me on their cell phone, and I talked to them, and the next Friday, they did come over, and they spent the weekend with us.
What was that like for you after 2 years of not seeing your grandkids?
Oh my God, it was magical. They came in the door and they were screaming, no, 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 no. And we were all hugging and kissing, and I was trying to grab all 5 of them all at one time, and they were just running around, and everybody wanted my individual attention. And all I could do was just wrap my arms around them and just tell them how much I loved them and I missed them. And so it was just beautiful.
So I understand that you taped a little bit of a reunion for us?
Yeah, I tried to. I tried to.
Well, let's watch that.
I made.
Show none of your card. Come here.
Yay! Oh, I love you! Come on, come over here.
Yep.
Come on. Oh, yes. Oh, my baby. Say hey. Hi. Hey, say hey, Steve. Hey, Steve.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I can't imagine what that's like, 2 years, you get to see them. So I'm really happy that, this all worked out and you got to be with your grandchildren again. Did Jennifer ever admit that she coached the children? Because she came on, she failed. Did she ever say, yeah, I did that?
I don't think she ever did. She did send me an apology text before the kids came, and I just let her know that I did forgive her already, but I wasn't ready to talk to her yet because I wasn't sure what I was going to say. So I just allowed Demetrius and Jennifer to talk and be parents, and I just stepped back a little bit.
Now, I'm told that you have something that you want to say to me.
Yes, I do. I just want to say I really, really thank you from the bottom of my heart. I almost had given up hope of seeing my grandchildren when they were this young, but I prayed, and God used you to answer my prayer. I thank you so much because you just don't know the joy and the laughter and the smiles and the tears. The spirit of depression and despair has left my home. We have been reconciled, and I thank you. I don't know what we would have done without you.
Well,
Your staff has been so gracious to us, and so we just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I know my grandchildren thank you, even though they don't really know who Steve is, but you will always be in our memories.
Yeah, well, I know no one at my staff, nobody watching that show ever thought that you were guilty of, watching your son abuse those grandchildren. We knew you were going to pass. And listen, everybody on my staff, myself, everybody watching, we're rooting for you. We hope that you won't be deprived of these grandchildren again, and we wish you all the best going forward.
We thank you so much. We thank you so much.
Take care.
We did. God bless.
I'm feeling mad. I'm feeling betrayed. I'm more mad because we cannot fix it within ourselves. We got to come do something like this to fix it, My wife, she's an aggressor. When we argue, that's when she starts attacking me, throwing at me. Of course, I'm gonna take it because I was taught never to hit no woman. I was always taught that. But after so many periods of time, like last year, I did put her in the hospital. I messed up her teeth because we had went out dancing, we were drinking and stuff like that. But like I said, with her, we can never drink. We can never drink because the liquor messes her mind up. About a month ago, my wife Angelica we were drinking and stuff like that. I went to bed a little early. I woke up like at 3 in the morning. She was up like, hey, where's the rest of the bottle? Like, that led me to believe she was still up somewhere else drinking. I've heard like stories about she was out partying. She was in hotels with guys. That's when I started telling her like, well, yeah. Well, I just started putting in like the stuff that people were telling me, like, you were probably at a hotel. You know, I was like antagonizing her on that. And she came over. She hit me in the head with the ashtray, and just from her doing that so many times, I lost control, because I must have been, you know, still a little hungover or drunk, whatever myself. But yeah, I lost control that time, and I probably hit her. I don't know if because I remember I hit her with my hand back like that. I don't know if it was from that caused the black eyes, or I don't know if she fell and her face, that's what caused the black eyes. She was in the hospital for about a day with the 2 black eyes because she was unconscious, she said. When she called me on the phone, she was like, hey, what happened to me? I played it off like I didn't know what happened, but really, I really did know what happened. It's because I had hit her. Seeing my wife with 2 black eyes is really hurtful, because my kids, they end up having to wake up in the morning and seeing her like that, and that's something, you know, I would not want my kids to see. So a long time ago, she accused me of cheating, which is what I never understood. How can you accuse me of cheating if you know I'm here with you all the time? I'm here with you, the kids. I never leave. I never go nowhere. I don't even go out with the guys like that. I'm here for you. I do everything for you and the kids. So then that's why it led me to believe that she was the one actually really cheating on me. And I think this started because when my son was in the hospital sick, she was there taking care of him 24/7. While on the weekend, I had to leave and go to work. She would accuse me of being out with other women and stuff like that, but it wasn't even like that the whole time. But then when it was vice versa, when she got out the hospital with my son and they were at home, she would leave my son at home with random babysitters while she'll go out and party every weekend. I'll call her phone. Like, it got to the point where I had to put a GPS tracker in her car. Once I told her, she didn't believe me, but then we had gotten into an argument maybe a month later. Then I actually went in the car and grabbed the GPS and showed her, like, look. That's when she flipped out, got crazy. Like, he knows. Like, that's the type of vibes I felt. Like, yeah, he knows. But ever since that, it's been quiet. I want things to get better. I want my wife to realize what she does wrong in this relationship. And whenever I tell her her wrongs, I want her to admit them and just be honest about what she does and just try to fix herself. Because honestly, I know we're both the problems, but I see more of the problem in her because of not being able to control her anger.
Angelica, that's your husband on tape. What is going on?
I had woken up in the hospital not knowing what was going on. And he finally admitted yesterday that he did this to my face. That he did that. It all started, though, because my son, he was sick, dying in the hospital. And he wasn't there supporting us. He was going out to the strip clubs with girls. It was hurtful.
How long have the 2 of you been together?
7 years.
And you have children together?
We have 2.
A boy and...
A boy and a girl, and I don't want them to see us like this. I don't want them to see me getting beat up and thinking it's okay. I don't want my daughter thinking that she can get beat up. I don't want my son thinking he can hit a woman. And I don't want them to continue to see me like this, because my son, when I got home from the hospital, my son, he said, Mommy, you look like a monster. And I had to go hide in the room because I didn't want to be around nobody. I couldn't let my kids see me like this. And he didn't care. He did this to me, and he acted like he didn't. And he would treat me like the whole time I was healing. And he did it to me.
How long ago did this happen?
A month ago.
What did he tell you happened?
He said, I went out with some guys, got drunk, and got jumped.
So you don't remember him hitting you?
He hit me so hard, I don't remember a week prior. I remember coming home from work with him that Saturday, or that Sunday, and driving in the car, falling asleep in the car on the way home, and then I wake up in the hospital. So that whole week is gone out of my memory.
Because you lost consciousness.
I lost consciousness.
And when you guys fight, how long has the fighting been going on?
A while. This bad, it just started this year.
But, okay, and what's it over? The cheating allegations on both of you?
Not me. I never really accused him of cheating until here recently because he was at the strip clubs while I was out in the hospital with my son. So yeah, of course, he keeps saying, I'm cheating, I'm cheating, I'm cheating. So of course I'm gonna say, okay, you must be the cheater then. What he likes to do is he likes to stay home. He don't like to go out. He likes to stay home, do his drugs or whatever. I don't. I don't like to watch him on his drugs. I don't like to watch him.
What kind of drugs does he take?
Yeah, bad drugs.
Well,
So-
I want to know, what's a bad drug?
Coke.
Okay. So he sits at home while your kids are at home and he does cocaine?
He doesn't do it no more, but he used to, and this is what had started it. Now that he's a changed man, he don't drink soda, he don't eat meat or anything. He thinks he's a completely changed person, but he still does it once in a while.
Coke?
Yeah, he's still...
You won't eat meat and won't drink soda, but I'll do some Coke.
Exactly what I say. Exactly what I'm saying.
But
because
like,
I don't want
you're
that.
in the house, like, I can't imagine, like, listen, it's just a fact. I've never done an illegal drug. Never did Coke, never smoked marijuana, never did any of that. But I can't imagine that if I wanted to do cocaine in my house, my wife would allow me. Like, she'd be like, get the hell out of here.
Yes,
How would his behavior, demeanor become when he's getting high on Coke?
He goes through my phones, accused me of cheating. Oh, this is a good one. He went through my phone, accused me of cheating with a person that called me that had the wrong number. I don't think that somebody would be that evil to me after what I've done.
Punched you in the face.
See, he never wanted to be with me from the beginning.
Like, it's a lot of things that led up to this, to that point.
Why don't you talk to your wife?
Okay, a lot of things that led up to this
Can
point.
I get a sorry first?
But hold on, a lot of things led up to this point. One is that for years, she's always been the aggressor. You've always been the aggressor.
Yes, I have.
Like every time when we
'Cause I'm
argue,
tired
hold
of
on.
having to defend
Every time
myself.
can I talk? Every time when we argue, and I'm trying to clear up and point you out on your wrongs, what do? You start to hit me. This whole relationship for 7 years, I only put my hands on you twice.
What's the justification for this?
What is that? That just
No, what's the justification for that?
meaning
Why'd you do it?
because just for over
I hit
all
him over
these
the
years.
head.
So all that up.
Okay. It all led up to because I had woke up in the morning. I mean, I woke up in the morning. I woke up from after a night of drinking at 3 in the morning. She's talking about, man, you drank the whole bottle, and I'm just waking up. And me, like I know my wife, when she drinks and she's already drunk, she goes to sleep, she'll wake up and not even look at a bottle, not even touch it or whatever. So when I woke up and she was screaming, that made me think like, okay, she was out. She was out somewhere doing something or whatever.
So you punched her?
No, not just, I didn't just punch her. It, like we got to arguing. And like I told her right now, every time we get arguing, she starts coming at me, I start throwing stuff back at her, but like, oh, you were probably out drinking and doing something. She started to hit me. She grabbed the ashtray, hit me in the back of the head with the ashtray, so I backhanded her.
You don't remember that, right?
I can't remember the night. I can't remember a week
But that's
prior.
funny though, because she just remembered the other day. The other day she was arguing with me about, oh, it's starting to make sense, it's starting to be clear. I remember everything.
Starting to make sense. Yeah.
Do you hit him?
I do hit him, but he antagonizes me and antagonizes me.
Yeah, but listen, I gotta say, it works two ways.
Yeah.
Nobody should be putting their hands
Yeah,
on anybody.
I agree.
You're hitting each other. I mean, in your own home. You're supposed to be safe in your home, right? Why do you stay with her?
I love her, and she knows
Oh,
that. I
you're
told her,
right.
I
mean,
man, I
come
know,
on, man.
and I know by us hitting each other, that's not that. It's because
Okay, let me ask you the
not love.
question. Why do you stay with him?
So I don't want to fail another relationship.
But it's already failed. So what if you both pass?
then I just got a lot off my chest.
What if he passes?
If he passes, then I'm sorry that I hit you
And
like
then
this.
and then what? And then it's gonna be just roses and champagne
we
for the
gotta-
rest of
no,
your
But
life?
the
we
thing
gotta
is,
find a way to
it's
work
not,
this out.
It's not. He's still gonna treat me the same.
Everything.
Then why would you want to stay? I mean, listen, I say this all the time. You want to be a victim? You want to be a victim for the rest of your life? Go ahead. But guess
That's
what?
what he
You ain't
calls
going to get anywhere being a victim. People stand on my stage crying. Yeah, I have some empathy. But at some point, you have to stand up for you and say, you know, enough's enough. I want to be happy. I deserve more. I'm not going to let you put your hands on me. Even though he's never cheated, Just because somebody doesn't cheat on you doesn't make a good marriage.
Even if we come back and we find out, okay, we both didn't cheat, which probably is the fact that we both didn't cheat, is still not going to change the fact that he went all them years of treating me like for no reason.
And it'll probably continue.
And continue because he's used to it. And I take it.
If you ask her, have I changed this past year, she'll tell you.
Yeah, I did. I told him, you changed your diet. I told him, you changed.
No, but just besides the diet,
You know, diets change. Oh, man, since I've been with my wife, I've done a million different diets. And sometimes I get heavy, sometimes I get skinny. But what doesn't change in my marriage is my love for my wife. Let me ask you, listen, you seem really miserable.
I am.
Okay?
He always just play victim, go sit down and play victim. That's all he tells me. You're such a victim. I'm hurt.
Hey, look.
I'm hurt that.
Even when you know you're wrong and you acknowledge you're wrong, I come to tell you sorry. Even though I'm not wrong, I come to still tell you sorry. But there's so many times where you've been wrong and you know you've been wrong, but you ain't never sat down with me and be like, hey, Alfonso, I am so sorry.
Tell me it.
You beating my ass. You telling me that I went outside and got jumped by guys when the whole time for a month until yesterday, you told me that I got jumped.
Angelica, you came here and took a lie detector test, and we asked you, since being in a relationship with Alfonso, have you had sexual physical contact with any other man? You answered no. Since being in a relationship with Alfonso, have you had sexual intercourse with any other man? You answered no. Results came back the same to each of those two questions. And it came back that Angelica told the truth. Alfonso, we asked you, since being in a relationship with Angelica, have you had sexual physical contact with any other woman? You answered no. Since being in a relationship with Angelica, have you had sexual intercourse with any other woman? You answered no. And your test came back inconclusive due to countermeasures attempted. Okay? So hold on, don't go anywhere.
You did it on purpose.
He tried to beat the test. So and he's been
I
exposed.
cannot believe you.
I'm not
It's so painful.
100% sure.
I brought his bum out of his situation.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've been doing this show for 17 years, man. Come on. What, we try to sandbag you. Oh, she got frustrated with just you. No, we do this. We do stories every week. You got caught, dude. That's it.
Not how. Listen.
Are you the worst guy ever on my stage? No. But you're a bad guy, and you're in a toxic relationship. You could get the hell off my stage. You know what? When you're really in love with somebody, you don't have to try. And they don't have to try to do nice things for you and treat you well. You know why? Because when you're really in love with somebody, you just do it.
I know. I bought him every year a birthday gift. Even this past Christmas, when he did that, I went and bought him a $1,200 chain. Even after he did this to my face.
You say you're never going to be with him again, right? If you really mean that, if you think you're going to go home and give him one more chance and he's going to talk to you, then walk out that door. And if you think, you know what, I deserve better, I don't want somebody to give me two black eyes, I want my kids to be happy, I'm going to go out that door.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
I'm here because I'm trying to see if this lady is my mom. A couple years ago, I was doing a Facebook Live. I got to chatting with this lady. I had happened to get on her Facebook page, and I said, dang, I look like this woman. It was like kind of scary because I see myself.
Since I have been talking to the twins, they refuse to understand what I'm telling them. They really think I'm their mother, and I'm not. The only thing that connects me with Ivory and Ebony is that the same year they were born, I had an abortion in the hospital, the same hospital.
Me and my sister were born in San Diego, California on March 16, 1996. We were told that our birth mom was on drugs and she was dead somewhere. We were also given the name Cheryl.
Back in 1996, March 16th, the twins were born. Okay, the same year, I had an abortion, but before the abortion, I got to hear the beat, the heartbeat. It was only one. And I know I'm 100% sure, 1,000% sure that I'm not their mother. I didn't give birth to no twins. I have not signed no adoption papers, no birth certificates, or anything like that.
Miss Cheryl told me that she had an abortion at 7 to 8 months pregnant. But how do you have an abortion at 7 to 8? That's full term. I said, it ain't no way you had an abortion. Ain't no way. Boom, I'm here.
When I did have that abortion in 1996, they were selling babies. I know for sure if I was 7 months pregnant, I wouldn't felt my twins in my stomach, 2 of them. It was only one because I heard only one heartbeat. And I never thought about it again until she called. She was like stalking. I mean, it was like, it was scary to me. It was like she was going a little too far.
She said if I was her child, I would have wrapped your own umbilical cord around your own throat. And when she said that, I just stopped searching. I said, bump it.
I said a lot of mean stuff because she was trying to make me something that I wasn't. Like, I'm a bad mama. I abandoned them and I gave them up and I didn't do nothing like that. I really want to ask them, who told you about me? They just sitting there, gets mad when they mention who is, and she said her name is Cheryl, and she's somewhere dead. She didn't want you.
I feel in my heart and my soul that it's her, because I look just like this woman. I just want to be okay, so I could be able to point out in the crowd, this the lady that raised me, this the lady that birthed me.
I told them the truth. I told them if you were my twins, you would be with me. I mean, I would never give up my kids like that. I did that one time. I aborted my child, and that was the worst thing I ever done in my life. I'm willing to help them find their mother if they want me to, because I know they want their mother, and I'm just not her.
So I don't know if we've ever done a DNA show to have a woman prove that she's a mom. Usually we bring the men on, whether they're the father. So this is a little bit unusual. So Ebony, you think that Cheryl is your mother?
I say 60 to 40%. My relatives told us that she was our mother.
So you were adopted, right? Mm-hmm. And this woman that's your mom says Cheryl is your mom? Mm-hmm. And how old were you when she told you this?
We were 8 years old.
Oh, you were 8? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a little unusual. Why would she do that? Is there a reason why she told you at such a young age? Usually when this happens, people are older, you know, they're adults, so this is, you know, but 8 years old. I mean, did you even comprehend what that meant?
No, I didn't.
So when do you start looking for Cheryl?
Back in 2019, we did pull up her name on Facebook, found the Facebook page, inboxed the page. Then when we went back to look to see would she look at the message, the page disappeared.
Oh, so you reach out to her and she's like, be gone.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like the page
She
disappeared.
ghosted you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they say on the tape that you were all supposed to come on my show years ago?
5 years ago.
And why didn't you come then?
She participated in everything as well as we did up into a DNA test. They called and said she backed out on a DNA test.
Do you think that either you or your sister look like Cheryl?
Ivory looks like her. I don't look like her, but Ivory looks most definitely like her.
Yeah, you're a lot taller than your sister too,
We're
right?
fraternal.
Yeah. You had to go through some abuse while you were being raised?
Yes, I was.
Physically or?
Mm-hmm. I was beat. I was put into a group home for more than a year.
So you had a rough childhood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I guess when you're going through rough childhood, you know that that person's not your mom. Do you have a feeling like if my real mom was here, she'd protect me?
I think I would have a better relationship, a better bond. Yes.
Now, Cheryl on the tape says that there's no way she could be the mom because when you guys were born, she was pregnant, but she terminated that pregnancy.
When I talked with her, she told me on the phone she had twins. Back of March.
She did say that.
She did say that. So I was confused.
So her story changes.
When we talked on the phone.
Yeah. Do you talk to her a lot, or?
No, I didn't
Seems
talk.
like your sister talks
Yeah.
to her quite a bit.
I didn't.
Seems like Cheryl gets agitated by it, too. Killer with her own umbilical cord? Yikes. She says that Ivory's stalking her and her family.
It got to a point to where she was enabling Ivory to call. And when they found out that Ivory had a twin, they was harassing me on Facebook.
Her family, Cheryl's family.
And her went and found me on Facebook and went to harassing me, calling me, ugly names, saying that they wish that I was dead. We shouldn't be looking for somebody that's not our mom. So I had to get it to Ivory, let her know, just stop talking to these people. It got real bad.
Do you want, oh God, that'd be an awkward Thanksgiving if she is your mom. Do you want her to be your mom?
If she is,
Then
it would be good, Yeah. Ivory would have that closure.
Yeah. How you doing, Cheryl? Really interesting dynamic here as far as DNA test goes. These two young girls, twins, are told by Cheryl didn't want you, Cheryl died, Cheryl did this, Cheryl did that, but Cheryl is your birth mother.
Well, Steve, that is not true. It's true, 1996, I did have an illegal abortion at 7 months. At the same hospital, they gave me a 2-day procedure. Before I had the abortion, I had a sonogram. So I only heard one heartbeat.
And you say you decided to terminate that pregnancy.
Yeah, I did.
Why do you believe that these, especially the one, right? Not Ebony so much as Ivory. Ivory, you say basically stalks you that.
Ivory.
Did you tell her you'd kill her with her own umbilical cord?
When I said that to Ivory, Ivory was doing too much. Like, she called me one time 50 times, and she was just being like, screaming at me and hollering at me, telling me that you are my mother, you are my mother, you are my mother. Like, and I was like, I was like, if you was my child, I would have hung you from my umbilical cord. That's what I said, and I really didn't. I didn't mean
you were
that.
saying out of frustration.
Yeah, I was just mad, and I would never do nothing like that.
Now, you didn't have two kids that you don't remember?
No, I don't. It's no way I could have had twins and don't remember.
I go back to this being so much different because as a man, back in my 20s, who knows? I might have got somebody pregnant. They never said anything to me. But a woman knows if she had a kid or not.
Two. I mean, it feels good for them to want me to be their mom. Yeah, it does. But I'm not their mother though, and I don't know how it's going to turn out.
Well, you do know how it's going to turn out.
I don't know how they're going to feel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, them.
Yeah.
I'm worried about.
Right. But I didn't meet Ivory yet, but Ebony seems very well adjusted.
Ebony's, she's a sweet girl.
Yeah, she seems very sweet.
Yeah, she's the calm one. Ivory was the one. Ivory.
And this whole situation's been going on for 5 years now.
It's been longer than that, I think. Yeah.
Well, they were told at 8, and they said they started searching for you about 5 years ago.
If I would have had twins, Steve, I would have kept my twins. I would not have gave them up for adoption. I would not have done that. I would love to have twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
So this is a crazy question. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you see yourself maintaining a relationship with them?
Right now?
Like after we read the DNA results.
If they were mine?
No, I'm assuming you're telling me the truth.
Yeah, I'm telling you the truth.
Right, that I think you would remember if you had twins. So I'm saying, here's two girls, sound like they went through a rough childhood, abused, this and that. They're looking for a mother figure. Would you have any interest in being a mother figure to them? And you could be honest, you could say, no, I have my own kids.
I have my own children.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's too late. I mean,
Any chance you are the mom?
No.
Here's your mom.
So, what you want to say?
I'm not mad. I'm not. You gave me a good life. All I can say is you did a good job, by not being there, I'm not mad. Just know I have feelings. I see everybody else with their mom, and it hurts so bad. And at the same time, if you are, just know I have feelings just like you.
I'm just ready for this to get over with, so you can have your closure and your sister, and then we can move on.
Okay.
Do you believe that she's your mom?
Yeah, she does.
Even now?
She does.
Can you stand next to each other so I get a good look here? It's possible.
I wanted to ask, we were giving your name, and I was wondering why we were giving your name.
I don't know. I never signed any paperwork. No, I never signed no adoption papers. I never signed no birth certificates. I have no clue of anything like that, and that never happened. And I don't know why they told you that. I'm sorry they did that to you guys. I really am.
You say 60-40. Your sister says 1,000. And she says 0. So only one of you could be right.
And all I want is Ivory, even if she isn't, all I want is Ivory to be okay.
Because I'm going to pass out.
Me too.
Because all I can say is, if you have y'all mama in y'all life, cherish your mama while she's here. Because you never know. You never know how somebody going to feel. Cherish your mama while she's here, y'all.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm been ready.
I'm ready.
Been ready for 5 years, right? All right, Cheryl, again, very unusual.
I know.
You're here to take DNA test whether you're these 2 young women's mother.
Yeah. Wow. I can't believe this.
And the result of that DNA test, Cheryl, is that you are not the mother of Ebony and Ivory.
I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
I know.
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. I just want y'all to be okay. You know, I mean, I don't mind talking to you if you want to talk to me.
Okay.
You can call me.
You know what strikes me, and I'm sure it struck a lot of people in here, her saying, I want to have a mother like I see my friends have a mother. Like I see my daughter calling my wife. You know, like you could feel any young woman that would want their mother in their life. That's when you feel, you know, like, gosh, I wish she could have a mom, you know.
Yeah, I do. I wish they could have had a good mom like me.
Yeah.
I apologize, and she might not say it, but she apologized too.
I'll say it. I'm sorry, Miss Cheryl.
Okay, it's okay. You guys gonna be okay, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not.
But you will.
You will, Ivory.
I mean, I know.
I'm not. I'm done.
It's okay.
I know this is not the news you wanted to hear, and I know it's tough, but, you know, you do have a wonderful sister, right? All right, well, I know, you know, this is hurting you right now, but we're going to help you continue the search, okay?
Please. I just want to be okay.
I know. Well, we're gonna do everything we can to see if we can find your mother, all right? All right, it was very nice meeting you. Good luck to you. Thanks for coming on the show today. Very nice meeting you. Hopefully we can help you. Haley was a brave young woman who faced off against... Haley, tell me about your childhood.
So growing up from like the age of 4, my dad would sexually assault me, and my mom would physically, emotionally, and verbally abuse me. And by the time I was in my teenage years, I was taken into child services and placed with a foster family.
So child services stepped in and placed... And why did they do that?
Because my mom had attacked a relative, a sibling, and I intervened and tried to pull her off of my sibling, and she assaulted me as well. So she went for my assault and my siblings.
So she punched you in the face?
Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
I was 15.
15. What is this about your dad would lock your siblings in the room to molest you?
Every Saturday. It was a thing for like 10 years. My mom would go with her friends and play cards, and my dad would be left to watch me and my siblings. And he would just make up an excuse as to why my siblings got in trouble. And he would lock them in the rooms as punishment and then take me into the bathroom and sexually assault me there.
And how old, what years did this happen?
Like 4 to 8.
For 4 years this went on.
I remember having a nightmare, and like I'm 5, so I went to my parents' room and tried to climb in their bed. And my dad had a mark on his neck. I'm like, what's that? And my mom's like, oh, that's a hickey. And like she showed me how to do it. She did it herself on the side and gave him another one. And then she told me to give him one on the other side and told me to suck harder so there's a bigger mark.
I hear there's a story about your mom and dad would play a game of ripping off your clothes.
So, like, at any moment, like it's random, they would just grab me and start undressing me, and they wouldn't stop until I was completely nude. Like, and it's usually like in like the living room, and I'd be screaming, I'd be crying. I'm like, stop, and they just wouldn't stop until I was completely naked. And when they were done, I just grab my clothes and go to my room, get dressed, and cry. When I would be walking by and he would randomly like grope my chest and rub on my chest and tell me he was doing it so that my breast would grow big, and then he would touch me between my legs. And he said that he's not going to touch me between my legs too much because he doesn't want that getting too big.
Do you know why it stopped at the age of 8?
I think it's because I'm getting older and like I have more of a voice.
So he was more concerned that you
Yeah,
might
that
tell
I would
somebody.
tell somebody. Like growing up, I heard different stories about other relatives that had similar stories with my dad. So I reached out to all of the other victims, and I was trying to build a case. That's me reaching out to my cousin, and basically we're swapping stories about what he's done to us, and we're trying to, you know, get justice for my niece, for me, for them.
Fred is my husband. We've been married for almost 26 years. He's my best friend. I did get with Fred when I was 13 and he was 27, but we did not start having sex until I was 17. Well, I love him so much because he's a great man. He takes care of me. He took care of our kids. It's been a great marriage, except for all these fake allegations against him.
No, I never molested Haley. I don't know why she's saying it, but it makes me really angry and hurt. She was my favorite kid and my first daughter. I have no idea why she's doing this.
When she first came out and said she was molested, I tried to get answers out of her about it, and she would not give me any.
Haley's saying that when my wife used to go next door to play cards, that I would lock the other kids in the room and take her in the bathroom and molest her, which never happened.
The story with me making her give her own father a hickey is ridiculous. I do not believe Haley's lies, and it's not the first time she's making things up.
Haley was a teenager. She told CPS when they asked her if I ever touched her or anything, she told them no.
When she was younger, we got in trouble with CPS. She had told them that I punched her in the nose when in fact she punched herself in the nose to get me arrested for it. She is a violent person. She tried to choke me once, and I ended up getting charged with battery.
Another family member accused me of the molest, and Haley told him that it was not true, that nothing like that ever happened.
Fred was accused of molesting before, and when they asked Haley about it, she denied all of it and said it never happened.
Haley came up with these fake accusations because recently my granddaughter accused me of the same thing.
And now there's this new allegation from my grandchild saying that Fred grabbed her butt. That never happened. I was there.
What my granddaughter said was actually that I grabbed her butt and I kissed her and told her that I wanted to have sex with her, which is totally a lie. The same child that's accusing me 3 years ago started doing striptease in front of me, And I yelled at her, and I told her parents and my wife as well.
I seen texts on her phone where she was trying to get family members to gang up against Fred about these false accusations. And when I saw them, I was upset. I was hurt, angry. None of them were true, so I don't know where they're coming from. We did kick her out the night I found these texts. It's affected us a little bit. The family's putting us through hell, and it hurts. I just can't do it no more. Going back and forth with my kids and all the lies, I can't handle it no more.
If she thinks I'm such a monster, I don't know why for the last 7 years she came living with me as a grown woman.
Me and Fred are suffering. We've always been there for our kids, supported them, gave them a place when they needed it.
They're just making this stuff up. They're all lying about it. I still love her, but I can't have her in my life no longer because it's the second time that something like this happened.
I feel like me and Frederick are the real victims here.
And I don't know why she's making these accusations.
After all these lies came out, I want nothing more to do with Haley.
After today, I need Haley just to leave me the hell alone and stay out of my life.
When you hear your mother say they're the victims, what goes through your mind?
She never had to be the victim. She lost all her kids, so she is childless because of her own actions.
You know, a couple things I want to get to. You feel like you're the victim, Natasha, that you and Frederick are the victims in this story.
We are.
And,
because it's not the first time Haley has made up lies to get either one of us in trouble. The whole thing with CPS, she punched herself.
You
in the
punched
nose.
me in my nose.
You
I
punched
came up
yourself
behind
in
you.
the
You
nose.
weren't there. You were not there.
so she punched herself in the face.
She punched herself
Yes,
in
she
the
did.
nose, and there was two
Because
witnesses that seen
I
it.
haven't
You seen that?
seen-
You seen it? You seen me punch
I
myself?
seen it.
You seen me?
You came downstairs with bloody nose. No one hit you until then.
Now, the one thing I do have to ask you, it's not even on what I'm supposed to ask you, but I got to ask you, you were 14 years old and he was 27, you started
13.
dating,
I was 13, yeah.
and you
And
said...
26 years later, we're still married.
I don't care about that.
I do.
Well, I'm sure you do, but
Well, I'm sure you don't.
I don't.
Okay.
So, okay, we agreed to disagree. Okay?
Okay.
So you're a 27-year-old grown man, and you meet
Yeah.
a 13-year-old girl, little girl.
Nope.
Yeah. No?
I
You
know.
didn't?
No.
No, he's known me all my life.
I know her all
Okay,
life.
so
So I didn't meet her.
the 13-year-old girl, so would you say that you started dating when she was 13?
Yeah.
Okay. You start, as a 27-year-old grown man, you start dating a 13-year-old girl. You didn't
Yeah.
see any problem with this.
Not really.
Did anybody in your circle of friends or family say, what are you doing? When I was 27 years old, I was a policeman. What the hell would I have in common with a 13-year-old girl? You're just confused, right?
Man, I wish I could have made it to the show, Steve. I could have took your dumbass lie detector test and showed you.
I offered a private one. I offered to pay for a private
offered
one.
a
Where
private-
was the response? Say yes to the lie
Yeah.
detector test.
Well, I'll
the
say
police
this.
offered.
I don't know if we can do this. I really don't. And we'll find out after the show. And if we can, we can. If we can't. I've never done this before. But maybe I need to come to you with my lie detector test and
Ooh.
give you the
Okay.
test.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
And Natasha, I would love to give you a lie detector test and ask you about what your sexual relationship with Frederick from the age of 13 to
That's
17.
fine, because I never had sex with him until I was 17.
I would love to do that. What did your daughter, how did you discover that your daughter was molested by Frederick?
My daughter went outside to the car after it happened that same day. She texted me to tell me exactly what had happened because we have always discussed that that's what you do in that situation.
And what did she say to you?
She told me that Fred pulled her out into the hallway away from all the other kids. He touched her butt, he tried to kiss her, and told her that he wanted to have sex with her.
Nicole, there's not an open investigation into this right now?
Oh, no, there's an open investigation.
Oh, there is an open investigation.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Just you and your
Nicole?
sick mind.
No,
Nicole?
just you.
I understand that your daughter's going in for a forensic interview tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, hopefully the police will be able to get some evidence from that and hopefully bring some charges against Frederick. So Haley came here and took a lie detector test, and we asked her, did Frederick sexually abuse you as a child? She answered yes. Did Natasha show you how to give Frederick a hickey as a child? She answered yes. Are you fabricating the molestation? She answered no. The results came back all the same, and they came back that Haley told the truth.
I told you and you didn't believe me. When I was little, you said if anybody ever touched me, I could tell you. And that you would always believe me no matter what. And you didn't.
You never came to me at all. And when I asked you if this stuff ever happened, you could not give me any answer.
But she passed for you showing her how to give this creep a hickey.
That one I don't know, because I did not.
You don't know?
I don't know.
She don't know how she passed. I don't get it. As being a father myself, okay? I think one of the sickest thoughts a father could have is being sexually attracted to his own daughter, his own grandchild,
never happened.
niece. What the hell?
Yes,
I don't understand how a 27-year-old man could be attracted to a child. But that's me. I know there's in the world, and you're sitting one next to one. And I'm sorry, Natasha, you're just as bad. You are with a child molester, a guy that's attracted to children because he was attracted to you as a child. So you know that as fact. He is attracted to children. And he stepped over the line. He molested your own daughter. He molested Nicole's daughter. And I'll tell you, I hope that they put you away, Frederick, because when you go away, when you go in that prison cell, I'm going to come and visit you. That's my promise. You are two of the sickest people I've ever met. And with that, get these people off my show. I always say this. Life is the roll of dice who we get for parents, right? You don't get to pick your parents. You got two that just, it's unbelievable. Like some of the worst parents you could ever have. He's abusing you and she's allowing it. And she might have been a victim herself at one time. She was a 13-year-old girl with the 27-year-old man. It was very brave of you. I'm glad you came because that guy had to be stopped, and hopefully you're the woman that puts an end to it. Good luck to you. Today, Frederick and Natasha's other child, Brandon, is here. He says he also suffered terrible physical abuse from Frederick, including being tased as a child. Also, for his entire life, Brandon was told that Frederick was his father. But now, not only are his parents telling him that Frederick is not his father, they also say Brandon is lying about the abuse allegations. You know, your sister was here, I think, last week, and she just told a horrific story. How was your childhood?
It was horrible. It was a nightmare. I was beat on a daily basis. I was tased. I was hit with tools. Was told I was worthless and stupid. And,
by both your mother and father? Or?
Mostly Fred. My mom just kind of sat there and watched it all happen.
Yeah. When you're going through this as a child, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I was horrified. Like, I felt like I was unloved. I was the mistake they made years ago that they didn't want around anymore.
What did your dad do to you at the age of 5?
I remember coming out of the bathroom, and I did something to upset him. And to the point where he came up with this wrench and he just cracked me right here in my head. I had a golf ball size.
You still got a golf ball size thing there. Jeez Louise.
But it throbbed for weeks. I was told to lie about it, that I ran into a doorknob. Had to go to school and family
What'd your mom
functions.
say? Like, did your mom do anything?
I went up to her and told her what happened, and she just told me to go to the room. It would be okay.
What did he do to you at age 13?
That's when the tasing started.
Like an electrical taser?
Yeah, it was one of those little handheld ones that you plug in and recharge.
And he would just tase you with it?
Yeah, I'm terrified of hearing the stove come on because it sounds like that taser.
How many times did he do that?
Hundreds of times.
And your mother never stepped in and put a stop to it?
Never once.
What happened when you were 14 years old?
I was trying to escape my prison that I was in, locked in my room, and he caught me and he tased me in my balls.
I gotta imagine that hurt like hell.
Some of the worst pain I've ever felt.
They kicked you out. How old were you when they kicked you out?
I was 14.
So right after the tasing of your testicles?
Yeah, because I got tired of the abuse and they knew I could no longer be a victim, so they didn't want me in their household no more.
Where'd you go?
I ended up contacting a family member and stayed with them.
Until you stayed with them for the rest of your childhood?
Yeah, turned 17. I ended up convincing them into signing paperwork to let me join the military.
Well, not a bad idea.
I had to do something to change my life around.
Yeah.
He raised me as his son.
Well, you called him Dad, right?
Yes, sir.
His name's on your birth certificate, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, it's not a far-fetched thing to think that he's your father.
That's what they told everybody until people started questioning it. Then my mom lied about it and said he wasn't my father just so he didn't go to jail.
But why did you take a lie detector test?
Because I'm tired of being called a liar.
Oh,
about the
because
abuse.
of all these, what you say that he did to you, tasing you,
Yeah.
beating you. Now, he's accused of touching a young child recently. Do you know this child?
She's my stepdaughter.
The last time I was on the show, I was faced with allegations from my daughter, and I'm not really sure what happened, but I am working on clearing it up with myself.
We were heavy drinkers back then, and we really don't remember a whole lot. Brandon is one of my kids, and he's my favorite child because he's my firstborn. Growing up, we always told Brandon that Fred was his father because he was the one there taking care of him.
The reason my name's on Brandon's birth certificate is because when his real father found out that Natasha was pregnant, he left out of the picture, and I wanted Brandon to have a father. And now I have my son, Brandon, making up stories about how I used to abuse him.
When Brandon was a teenager, he had gotten out of control. He was always getting into fights. I had to pick him up numerous times from the police department.
Growing up, me and Brandon used to get along great. It's just when he turned into a teenager and started doing drugs and started acting out that we no longer got along. Brandon was even in a gang called the Cool Kid Gang.
He's lying because Fred was never abusive with him. Yeah, there was times him and Brandon had butted heads, but there was never any abuse.
I never really punched him. I smacked him. I probably hit him harder than what I should. But, you know, he was a big kid and he was very violent. He's telling you guys that I used to tase him, which he's using things out of context.
Frederick took a DNA test because Brandon wanted one, and he wants to know who his real dad is.
Last time we was on the show, I told Steve that I was 27 and Tasha was 13 when we got together, but we did nothing sexual until she was 17 years old. Therefore, I could not be Brandon's father.
Brandon took a lie detector test about these allegations about Fred abusing him, and he is going to fail his test. Me and Fred are back on the show to prove that none of this is true, and so our kids will finally leave us alone and stop victimizing us.
Okay, I'm sorry I have to go there. You were part of a gang called the Cool Kids Gang.
It was something stupid me and my friends
Yeah,
did.
and I just want to say, if I ever got jumped by a gang, I want to get jumped by the cool kids.
We never did anything illegal.
So, listen, I'm a little confused because when you were on the show, when I talked to you before, you talked about this incredible romance between a 27-year-old man and a 13-year-old girl, right? You fell in love.
Right.
But you really respected each other and said, we're not going to have sex until I am of legal age, right?
Right.
But then you
Yes.
start somebody else.
What?
Right?
No, what are you talking about?
Well, what happened to that incredible love story that you started sleeping with another
Because I
guy?
had messed up and cheated on him, and we broke up and got back together when I was 17.
Okay, so you patched up this wonderful love story.
Yep. Yep.
How long have you known Natasha? From what age?
My whole life.
Since you were a baby.
Yeah.
And
You're
then,
my
when
uncle's best friend.
and then when she was 13 years old, you developed romantic feelings for her.
They used to brag about how he changed her diapers.
We never
In
bragged
the first
about
place, no
it.
one bragged about it, Brandon, you liar.
Did you change her diapers?
Him and his ex-wife did.
Me and the
yeah.
ex-wife,
Frederick, you know your son Brandon here, or maybe son, maybe not son, but you raised him. You look at him as a son. He says, you know, you're hitting him in the head with socket wrenches. You're tasing him with the taser. You tased him in his testicles. Any of that true?
No.
Is any of that true?
Yes. I'm asking
They
you.
tased- They tased each
Let
other.
Frederick's a big boy.
Brandon tased all of his
Natasha,
friends.
Natasha,
They tased each other.
Frederick's a big boy. Let him answer for himself.
She's a big girl, she's talking small.
Oh, you tased each other.
They tased each other.
I never.
Their
I
friends
wish I
tased
got the
us,
chance
they
to tase him.
tased their friends. It's a little 9-volt taser.
So you admit tasing him, but he would tase you too.
I wish I did.
Brandon, stop lying.
Brandon, you did more than one.
You sat there and hold it on yourself and count to 5.
Frederick, did
So
you tase
do
him?
it.
Frederick, did you tase him?
We all tased each other.
And so he tased you back, you're saying?
Everybody tased everybody.
So Brandon came here and we asked him, did Frederick ever tase you? He said yes, and Frederick, you basically admitted that you did. But
Yeah.
you said you tase him back and forth.
Everybody's tasing everybody.
Okay.
Whatever.
Is that true, Brandon?
Except
I
Natasha.
wish I got the chance to tase you.
So we asked, did Frederick ever tase you? He answered yes. Did Frederick ever strike or punch you in the face? He answered yes. Did Frederick hit you in the head with a metal tool when you were a minor child? He answered yes. The results came back all the same, and it came that Brandon told the truth.
But I'm lying, right? I'm so sick and tired of being called a lie.
We did a DNA test concerning whether Frederick is Brandon's
And
father.
Frederick is not the father.
Yeah, your dad's half Puerto Rican.
I hope not.
Your dad's
Puerto Rican,
Brandon.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brandon is not your biological child. You are the luckiest son of a bitch that's ever walked on my stage.
My kids can say they're not related to him.
You know, I don't know if there's any investigation with you with molesting these children.
There most definitely is.
I certainly hope that you go to prison someday. And the good thing about this is the last time I'm ever going to see you two dirtbags ever again. You got to learn from what they did. I hope that you'll be a wonderful, parent to your children, your stepchildren, and I wish you all luck in the world. Thank you. Did Haley get justice? Was she able to stop Fred? Let's find out. Please welcome back Haley back to the show.
Hi, Steve.
So Haley, when I look at your dad, you try to not judge a book by its cover, but that guy looks like a predator. What's new?
So great news. Frederick has been arrested.
When did he get arrested?
So just a little over a week ago.
All right, because it wasn't that long ago that we taped your show, right?
Yeah, it's been just, what, a month?
Yeah. So he got arrested about a week ago, and where is Fred now?
Fred is in jail right now, waiting for his court date, and he has a bond of $300,000, and he's not even able to put up a bond.
And what is he charged with?
Fred has 3 charges of child molestation, 2 charges against me and 1 against my niece.
Oh, so because of what he did to you and your niece now, that's what he's charged with. And what kind of time is he looking at if he's found guilty?
So I read online, each charge carries 20 years for a maximum, so he's looking up to 60 years in prison.
What happened when he went to the police station?
So they started an interview, his interrogation, and he denied the claims with my niece. And when it came to me, he couldn't deny what he did to me, and he insinuated that I was telling the truth, and they took him into custody right there.
He's not the brightest bulb, huh?
Unfortunately.
So what happened with your mom, Natasha?
So I haven't had contact with her directly, but shortly after the show, she went onto social media and tried to still say I'm lying and make me sound like a horrible person.
But listen, I can't imagine your mom has a big social media following. So I don't think too many people, I don't think you have to worry about too much about what your mom's posting. But like, we had a lot of reaction to your show, and I love that Fred's arrested because he seems so smug and like he was just going to get away with it. And I'm glad it seems like there is going to be justice served with Fred. Do you feel like the show helped you?
Absolutely, 100%. Because I was literally excluded from my whole family. Everyone thought I was lying. No one believed me. No one supported me. And then once I got the test results, they couldn't ignore the fact that I was telling the truth. And a few of them have reached out, and I really have no interest in rebuilding a bond that they let go to waste.
I mean, I certainly would understand that. I mean, people don't believe you, but the fact that, he was dating your mother when she was 13, he's a 27-year-old guy, I don't know how anybody explains that or is okay with that. What do you want others to know, Haley?
So after the show, I had tons of people reaching out to me and telling me their story about their sexual assault as children and how they feel brave enough to finally speak on it. And I want everyone to know that it doesn't matter if it was yesterday, if it was 5 years ago or 20 years ago, like my case, I'm finally getting justice because I spoke up. And if you speak, people will believe you. It might not be your mom. It might not be your dad. Somebody will believe you. The police believed me. Steve believed me. And now I have a whole army behind me that believes me. And I also want people to know that in my case, I couldn't tell my mom and dad. So you're always taught, don't talk to strangers. Strangers are bad. Sometimes the monsters are in your family. So tell a teacher, tell your physician, tell a police officer, tell somebody, even if it's not somebody you're close to. Someone will believe you.
That's really great advice because, unfortunately, a lot of times, as we've seen through the years on the show, it usually is a family member most of the time or a close family friend. So, it's very courageous for you to speak out. And not only for yourself, but you're stopping Fred from making other young women victims, other children victims. Listen, we wish you all the best of luck. and I hope you'll keep us updated with what happens to Fred.
Thank you so much.
The birth of Catherine's 1-month-old daughter left her and her boyfriend, Sean, more uncertain than happy. You see, Sean accidentally found out that he might not be the father. And Catherine even said she thinks the baby looks like the other man. Watch this. Why is there a doubt that he's not the father?
I was, 100% certain that it would be Sean's. And then when she had come out, I seen it right there and then, and I'm like,
Yeah.
And then I started putting pictures. I wanted to do it on my own because Sean has always wanted a daughter. And he had finally got the daughter he always wanted. And so it had
What
crushed
did
me.
he say in the delivery room? Was he in the delivery room?
Yeah. So he kind of stood there, didn't say anything. He was just happy that he had his daughter.
Yeah. But he didn't think, that's not mine.
No.
No.
Nope. I kind of said something about it.
What did you say?
Well, I said, man, Sean, she doesn't look like you. And his sister kind of said the same thing. She's like, I think she looks like me. And I still.
Yeah, like looks-wise, it's hard to tell with the baby, right?
Yep.
But, there's possibility, like you say, that somebody else could be the father.
Yes.
Does the other guy know?
Yes, so I had reached out to him. I had told him, that he could be a potential father. I didn't like the outcomes of it. He told me that if she is still his, that he wouldn't want nothing to do with her, and it broke my heart because.
Oh, really?
Yep. It broke my heart.
You want, obviously, a father figure in your children's lives.
Yes.
Which is a good thing. May I ask what the other gentleman's race is?
He's white.
Oh, the other guy's white?
Yeah. Yeah. I believe she took the dark skin over me. I do. He's a little dark, but he's not, no.
How many other people did you sleep with?
Just him, I promise.
Okay. Okay. Now, during these breakups, is there an understanding, hey, we're just taking a break, we're not going to sleep with other people, or do you just say, we're broken up?
We were done. We were officially done at that point.
What did you break up over?
There was a lot of postpartum depression with me, and our son was about 7 months old right around that time, and it was still, it was really hard for me, and I did most of the parenting with my son, and, Sean has another, child, and...
With somebody else?
Yes. Yeah. And, I was a first-time parent. I was a first-time mom. I didn't really know...
How old were you when you had your other child?
I was 19.
Yeah.
And, I didn't kind of know what to do. And Sean, he just didn't really help. He didn't wake up, help me with the child.
And so then, like, you were feeling depressed and Sean wasn't helping you and you took a break.
I wasn't getting the support that I needed.
So you and Sean, you have a child together. You might have two together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself in the long haul with Sean?
Yes and no. Yes, I see it as a long haul because he's been very, supportive over, everything. He has taken this news really, really well. But at the same time, no, because I feel like that, if he's not the father, it's going to destroy our relationship. It's going to destroy the family's relationship.
It would be hard. I mean, you can't sugarcoat that. Sean seems like a nice guy. Is he a nice guy?
He's a wonderful guy. He's a big teddy
bear.
bear.
Just on tape, he seems like really mellow.
Yep, he's a big teddy bear.
Okay. All right, well, let's meet him.
All righty.
The baby looks like me. She really does.
I don't think she does.
She really looks like me.
I don't.
That is my child.
I've tried to tell you that, so.
That's my child.
Are you sure?
100%.
100% sure?
100%.
Then what the hell are you doing here?
Her!
Oh, it's your idea.
Oh, yeah.
Because she has doubts.
Yep.
Yeah. So now you guys been together for a few years. You have an older child, right?
Yep.
Little boy or little girl?
Little boy.
Little boy. And so, she gives birth. You want a daughter, and she gives you a little baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in that delivery room, that baby comes out, you didn't think, oh.
No. Nope. That
Why
was
not?
the moment. I got my little girl. I've
You were caught up in the moment, which that is totally understandable. Now, after your first son's born, she, you know, which women do go through, and I feel terrible for them, postpartum depression, because it's really horrible. But she feels not only that, but you weren't very helpful.
I wasn't. I'll admit it.
Why
I
not?
wasn't. Just working and...
Yeah, but listen, I had two kids. I work, and I still helped with the baby.
Oh, yeah. And I know I was in the wrong for that.
Okay. Okay, so now,
bonehead move.
when you go through these, when you're going through that, and she breaks up, were you thinking that she would possibly sleep with somebody else, or was that a shock to you?
That was honestly a shock when I first found out.
Because you weren't sleeping with anybody, right? Because you were thinking in your head, hey, we're going to get back together?
Well, I knew I messed up, and I did everything possible to try to get her back. Every time.
Okay. Now, when you look at the baby, do you see that maybe somebody else could be the father?
No. There's no way.
I don't know. I think it's because
I'm talking
he's...
to him. See, now, like that picture...
I think it was the light. She definitely looks like me.
I mean, maybe we're doing some bad lighting here, because now that baby doesn't look like it came out of a tanning booth. Right? I mean... Okay. So I'm a little confused, because, you know, you're very milky white, and in that picture, that baby looks very milky white. Do we have the other picture?
Oh, it was definitely light. I saw it, yeah. Yeah, it's the light.
Yeah, maybe it threw me off. Okay. So how did you find out that she slept with somebody else?
I saw a text to a family member, and it piqued my interest, and I confronted her about it, and we talked. And
So now you're in a bit of a quandary, because you do have an older son, now you got this little girl. If the little girl wasn't yours, could you see yourself moving forward with Catherine?
No doubt.
Oh, you could?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You would love that child like your own?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's
definitely
nice.
would.
Yeah.
She's going to need a father, so why wouldn't I be her father?
She will need a father. And she said, the other guy said, I don't want nothing to do, so you wouldn't even have to, like, you know.
Anything. I'll just adopt her.
Yeah. Are you ready to find out?
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous for you.
I'm not. I know she's my daughter.
Okay. One way or the other, she is. Sean, you came here and took a DNA test, and the result of that DNA test, Sean, is that you are the father of Catherine's mom.
I told you so. I love you.
Man,
I told you.
I didn't see that coming.
I did not either.
How do you feel?
Better now. I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to hear about it.
How do you feel?
I'm relieved. I'm relieved.
Now, what happens next time you take a break?
I'm not going to go sleep with him or anyone.
Oh, yeah. Or anyone is the key there.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, you listen, you have a family, you got a little boy, a little girl. I mean, that's to me like a dream scenario. You got a boy, you got a girl. You know, you're both young, so it's going to be like anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Good times, bad times, right? Yeah. But, you know, like you said, it's important to have a father figure in the children's life. I hope that you'll do everything to make it work out. All right?
Yes.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.